Hello, my wit fellows. Shanon here, writing under the author name of S.D. Huston and author of Blood of the Lily and Soul of a Rose. I just have a couple of things I want to note for this video, some news, updates, and mistakes. Let's start with my current updates. So I'm still working at my parents' liquor store. My dad pulled through the surgery successfully. He is recovering. He says it's a bit of pain, but that is to be expected after surgery. He's not allowed to pick up anything heavy, and working at a liquor store, it's a bit hard not to pick up something heavy. The first week I was able to write a little bit in between some of the customers and getting the ordering done, but then this past week it didn't work out that way. There was actually a lot more customers to the point that I was barely able to finish all the ordering because of all the customers coming in and out of the store. It's a very small mom and pop liquor store, so it's just me there until the next guy comes in to take over the evening shift. It's quite fun actually to interact with other people, and it reminds me of that human connection, which is really cool actually. But as you can tell, I think I've got a bit dark under my eyes because I'm not really sleeping as much as I probably should be, but I'm trying to get all of my revisions and edits done to my book that I'm exchanging with my critique partners right now. Just got back my first set from one of my critique partners, so I was so excited about that. Of course, I'm reading her work as well, which has had a big influence on my writing because she writes in present tense and I write in past tense, and I ended up writing in present tense in one of my scenes that I was revising, and I was like, wait, something doesn't sound right here, and then I realized it was present tense mixed in with past tense, and so you could tell I'm really getting into her work. So, but that's a good thing because I'm really invested, and I'm hoping that I can offer her something helpful for her story so it can prove and be the best that it can be. At least I'm hoping I can help out in some way. As for updates with my channel, I have my next self-publishing tips and tricks video coming out on Tuesday, the 15th of February, and we are interviewing myself, Morgan Lee, and Ben Pick. We are interviewing author Caitlin Young, who is an author of vampire stories, and I was actually just an ARC reader for her latest novella that came out on the 8th of this month, and so you can check her out. It's actually one of our shorter interviews that we've had. Most of our interviews have been roughly an hour long, and this one is probably gonna be just under 20 minutes, so it's gonna be really fast. But if you're able to make it 6:30 p.m. CST time, I would try to convert that to other time zones, but I keep messing that one up. I'm still doing Productivity Pyramid Wars with Colin Clark. I have 2 more Fridays left that I'm doing that with him here in February. And then on the last Friday of the month, February 25th, I have an AuthorTube collab panel coming up, which I'm really excited about, to get in there and talk about AuthorTube and author branding. And so that will be something that I really want to know more about, that maybe we can figure something out, but if not, it'll just continue to be that question of how do you do this? How do you cross that divide between providing content for other writers versus also trying to reach your readers? Okay, next I'm going to talk about mistakes. Oh boy. So, as I was sitting there revising sections of my third book, and I had left a note to myself to go back and research what did I say about this section here in book 2, because I want to make sure I stay consistent, of course, right? That's the right thing to do. And I opened the latest document on my computer for book 2. And right there, right plain bold on the page I was looking at, I had a highlighted section. It was like 2 sentences. And I thought, please no, please no. My heart just dropped. I was like, no, please, this did not go to print. Please, this did not go to print. And so I had just got my books in the mail. I hadn't even opened the box yet. So I ran out to the living room and to go get that box. I opened it up, and sure enough, it was highlighted on the printed page. Of course, the inside is black and white, so you don't see the highlighting color, but you can see the difference. Let me show you. If you've got the printed book, which I know I have had a few sales, so some people do have them. If you have one before I fixed it, you go to page 190. You can see it, right? That highlighted section right there. Yeah, big, huge. You can see it's highlighted. And I thought, oh my gosh, what did I not do right to catch this? And I do remember that I highlighted it because I wanted to check something. I think if I remember right, it's Lily, and she's thinking, in her mind, she says Mother Goddess, but I wanted each of her sisters to say like a kind of different little prayer, like instead of saying like, oh my God, or God, please watch over me, you know, like each sister had her own thing that she said. And I thought she said Mother Goddess, where Rose tended to say great gods and goddesses. So I wanted to make sure that it was indeed Mother Goddess. So I highlighted it to go check it, to verify it from the first book. And I skipped over it, and I thought, well, how did I miss this? Besides going through my document, I uploaded it to Amazon. And then I went on there and I looked at the print preview on the screen for Amazon, and I could not see that highlight anywhere. I went through every page on the print preview. Did not see the highlight there. I wish I would have recorded that at the time so you could see that there was nothing showing there. The problem was there's this little button at the top right of that screen that says download PDF or something like that. And I thought, maybe I should have done that. I did do that with Blood of the Lily, but I was a little bit under time constraints, and I thought, I'm seeing it on the screen. It all looks great, so it should be good. So I hit that, download button for the PDF. I scrolled through to page 90, and it was plain as day on there. So, lesson learned. I can't just look at the print preview on the screen when I upload it to Amazon. I need to download the PDF and go through each and every page just to make sure that I didn't forget any other highlights or anything like that. So I have learned a lesson. So what does that mean for the ones that I have sold already? So I think I have sold 4 or 5 of Soul of a Rose with those mistakes in there. I caught it on, I think, the 9th of January. It came out the 3rd of January. On the 9th, I caught it. I submitted the corrections, and it took to the 11th of January for it to update for future sales. And the reason why I say I sold 4 or 5 copies is because I sold a copy on the 11th, and I don't know if that person who bought the copy on the 11th was before the changes went live or after. So between 4 or 5 copies have been sold with that mistake in there. Now, there was one other thing that I noticed. So if you see the back, and I'm looking at this on the screen, you really can't tell. But the words here, they are really light in color. And Blood of the Lily is much, much darker. I don't know if this will show up on the screen, if you can see the difference. It's really hard to see the difference. And I design my covers myself. So I went back to my program. I used GIMP, which is a free software and has a lot of functionality like Photoshop, but it's free. And I looked at it, and that was white. That was in white. I couldn't make it any lighter in color. But what I did was I wrote it in white, and I saved it as a picture because I wanted to get the lettering just right, not on the screen on GIMP. So I saved it as a picture, and I imported the picture and put it right there. I did the same exact thing for Blood of the Lily. It came out just fine, but for some reason it didn't work this time. So instead of importing the picture, all I did is I went and I highlighted all the words, copied it, and pasted it as a layer in GIMP, and it came up much darker. And I don't know, here's the fixed version. I don't know if that will show up. So of course I ordered more copies to make sure. So here it's much brighter. Here it's very light. So that is minor, but I didn't like how light this one was compared to Blood of the Lily, and this one is much better. And that all came down to, instead of importing as a picture, I pasted it as a layer, which was really weird. I wouldn't have known that. Now I know that, and I will make sure I do the right thing when it comes to Marigold's cover, because I haven't made her cover yet. So again, I fixed that at the same time as I fixed the highlighting. I still have copies of those messed up ones going on, but here's what I'm offering. If you bought a copy of Soul of a Rose before the 11th and you have that messed up version, if you can show me proof of receipt of when you bought it, then I will send you a free copy. I can do that easily through Amazon and send it as an author copy. It does take a couple weeks to get there. Now, I knew already of one person who had a messed up copy, and that was JM Shelley, I think I'm saying the name right. I knew that he already had a copy of my book, which he won during my book release party on Barrett Laurie's channel. So I reached out to him and I was like, hey, it's messed up. I'm offering you a free copy. Do you want it? And he was like, yeah, sure. Go ahead and send it to me. Who wouldn't want a free copy of a book, right? So I sent him the copy. He already has it in his possession. So that's one of the 4 or 5. So if you're one of those people who got a messed up copy, please let me know if you would like to have a replacement copy. And I have my email address on my YouTube channel, so you can reach out to me through email. Now, with that said, I had bought 5 copies of the messed up one. So I've got 4 left. Now, one I gave to my older son when he was home visiting for my birthday in January. So I figured, yeah, he won't care if it's messed up because he'll be happy to have a copy. So what I'm offering is signed copies of messed up copies for anybody who would like it. I will sign it. I have a link down in the description box that you can find. I am selling them for $12. Now, they usually retail on Amazon for $13.99. It says $11.99 on my copy, and I remember I changed changed it after the Courtney Project featured my book covers, and she was like, hey, you need to up your prices. So I had just upped the prices, and so I don't have that new price on here, but I'm pretty sure that's $13.99 for the book on Amazon. I'm selling the signed mess up copies for $12. I only have 4, and I may sell them. I don't know if anyone's even interested in buying these messed up copies, but if you are, the link to buy them is down below. It is a PayPal link because I'm not really sure how else to do it at this point, and that does include shipping and handling. I included what I would need to cover that because I want to make sure that I am covering my costs. And again, I only have 4 copies. If I don't sell them, I'll probably just give them away to family members because they probably won't mind having mess up copies. They'll probably just enjoy having them. And now for my news. I am taking part in a mega fantasy author giveaway. The giveaway happens on March 14th. However, we are looking for some awesome fantasy authors to come join who want to massively expand the reach of their books. This giveaway is sponsored by Reign of Reads, Book Rescue, which is a project of Dale L. Roberts, of the Self-Publishing with Dale YouTube channel and the Self-Publishing with Dale podcast, author platform Rocket, Crave Books, Story Origin, and more. So if you're a fantasy author who would like to try to reach out to 250,000 fantasy readers, follow the link in the description below and sign up before the end of February. That is all for me today. Thanks so much for watching and happy writing.